Good morning. It is, I think, time is it? Oh, it's 9:08, March 12th in the morning. So I kind of woke up about a little while ago, ate some breakfast after I laced this wheel. So right here I've got it's my original 29-inch rim. Just the hoop is the original bit now. Actually no, some of the spokes and nipples are. But this is the original one from my Kilogram. And I've had these sitting around for the last 2 years now, I think, and I hate to not use them. So I wanted to lace hubs into them because the axles completely died. The ball bearings tightened on themselves because the lock nuts were never locked down correctly. My fault, I didn't have the right tool to do it. Live and learn. And it chewed up the inside of the housing on the hubs that were originally laced in here. They were old Alteras from 2012, and they were kind of crap, and well, they're going to be gone. So right now I have some hubs in here, or one hub, that I picked up out of East Amherst last year off of some cheap bike. I didn't get the bike. Some guy had it the back of his renter's lot, and they were these wheels right here. These Alex's are what it came with. I apologize for the mess right now, but these were the wheels that it came with or had on it, and they're Alex SX44s. I bought them for my distortion, and then I kind of branched out and went to Spike Race 33s instead. So these might be a third set of wheels for it, or they might not be. I feel bad taking them apart because they were 100 millimeter spacings for a QR in the front and 135 in the rear. But obviously, you already see that I took all the spokes and the hub off the other one. So this one's next in the chopping block. But the flanges are identical between the Alteras and these unnamed ones. They honestly seem like they're pretty good in terms of condition. I mean, it's not anything crazy for the pawls or anything, but you know what? I'm just making a road set of wheels for my Kilogram. So, whatever, it's good enough for me. They used to be like all muddy and gross, and yeah, the old Alteras were because I didn't take really good care of them. But they're looking good, except for the fact that these hoops are disgusting. They're really gross. They're just corroded to shit. All the nipples are just really dirty and stuff, and some of the spokes are kind of bentish. I replaced about 4 bent ones with 4 new ones. This side I ended up coming out to be 296, and that one was 294. So I kind of went in the middle and got 295s that I could use on both sides. Should work, but yeah, this one is just laced right now. I gotta draw it together, and from there we'll see how it goes, I guess. So I found something real quick. It's kind of funny. So I have a feeling that the Alex wheel set's actually really new, because if you look at this hub right here, the free hub body, there's like a little scratch right here, and it's only in one little spot, and usually you get that from cassettes. But I know that somebody put a single gear on here with the spacers or whatever, so that's what it is. They only ever ran one gear on here. So this hub has to be near brand new. Or maybe not brand new, but very new. And it feels nice. I think somebody put some some oil inside of here, which is probably not the way to do it. But you know what? Sweet. I think I have a new hub, so that's awesome. Alrighty, so I just drew this in with my nipple driver. I was going to use a key for it, a keyway or whatever. A spoke key wrench or whatever. I was gonna do that, and so I'm like, wait a second, I have a freaking nipple driver that spins around and is like way faster. So literally it took me like maybe 3 minutes to just pull the tension, not correct tension, but like enough to start influencing the shape of the rim. So if you look here, it's not very good. We'll even put this here for reference too. Doesn't that look really nice? Delicious. But there's just starting to be enough tension to do anything soft. This is gonna be the stiff side right here anyway, so it's definitely underdrawn. So I'm gonna start drawing it up with the spoke wrench soon, so that I can get closer. And then I'm gonna start working on the lateral trueness, and then I'll go into radial. So sweet. So I just did the one side, which would be the brake side for truing it. I've only referenced the left, so I'm going to move on to the right soon. So this is my left side, my brake side. It's not great, but this is very, very, very rough, and I know my radial's definitely going to be off, but I haven't even touched the driver's side, so I'm going to do that next. It's looking better. I haven't finished the side off, that's why it keeps hitting, but it is definitely chewing up a little bit. I've chosen to make the executive decision to call it quits right now for truing. This is what I got for radial and side to side. Oh. It's not perfect, but it is also a used wheel, so I'm not going to kill myself over making it perfect. And listen to that ratchet. So I don't normally do this, but I'm just going to do it for the hell of it. So I laced this wheel together, and it actually seems pretty heavy, which is kind of funny. I think that they're steel spokes or stainless spokes with maybe aluminum nipples. I don't even know, but the rim is definitely aluminum. So I'm going to throw this on the scale right here. Probably not the best scale for it, but you know, whatever. So about 2 pounds, 12 ounces ish. Dish it in a sec. Here is the 26-inch wheel. I have the rotor on here, so yeah, I know it's not really a fair game, but I think it's still lighter. So let's see. I'm just going to hold the end up so it doesn't want to tip over. Oh, don't have to worry about it. With the rotor, the 26-inch wheel is 2 pounds, 9.25 ounces. So yeah, definitely a lighter wheel set with this. Now it is time for dishing the wheels. See what my hub offset is from side to side. So this is my WAG4, WAG4 park tool. Yes, they might be the expensive ones, but I got mine for a really good deal. I got mine for 40 bucks. But so essentially what you do is you line up the tabs on the sides of the rim, and then you push this middle down to the center of the. Actually, I use this flange right here. So see how it mounts there? Doesn't really mount, but how it touches makes contact. So then you just tighten this knob up right here. So it saves it, I guess, if you really want to say. Now you flip it over. I'm going to guess the other side's going to be further out. But now what happens is we set it on top. And that's mounted in the right spot. And now if you see, there should be a little bit of a gap there. That's what I have to eat up. So I'm going to pull the hub away from the gap. So that means I'm going to be pulling it towards the driver's side, towards the drivetrain. So I'm going to try a quarter turn tightening on this side and a quarter loosening on this side, and it should shift it this way. So this is the higher side at this point. Like an eighth turn? I don't know. We'll figure that out in a sec. Actually, not even. Small gap. I think I can live with that. That's not bad. I just did a little bit of my lateral true real quick just to kind of bring it back, because whenever you do different adjustments, it usually throws off the trueness. So I just fixed it real quick. And it's looking pretty decent. It's not perfect, but also this is a 9-year-old rim, so it is what it is. I have a lot of miles on this thing, so it's kind of been bashed a lot. So it's not bad. I'm happy with it. So now I just got to tension it and figure out what I got to bring it up to. So I'm going to do that real. Another one. Okay. 2.0 it looks like. Nope. That is a 2.0 apparently. Oh, it's got a reading in the spoke gauge. So this side with the hub is going to be the tighter side. The other side's going to be dependent on this side, so it's going to be looser. So it's kind of hard to do lone hand. So it looks about 22, 22, 22.5, 22. I have to grab it. 23. So that one's a little bit on the tougher side. 22.5. 24. That one's super tight. That one's going to have to be tensioned, right? So I'm going to steal from that one I just measured to this one. So I guess I have to do my tensioning. Honestly, the tension is not bad for the average. It's just I'm going to have to disperse it a little bit better. So let's see how that goes. I'm tired, and I don't know how long I've been working on this. I should probably check my phone to see what time it is. I feel like I probably had like the last hour and a half on it. It's 10:51 now, so it's probably about 2 hours-ish. So it's not perfect, but it's also an old-ass wheel. I think I tried overdoing it, and I kind of pulled the wheel out of true more when I was trying to disperse the load better. I have like one spoke that seems kind of soft, but I think that's just going to be the deviation. So this is how true I'm going to run it. I'm just done with it. I'm ready to just use the wheel. It's spare set anyway. So what I'm going to be doing is I have to mount this onto that. I did it yesterday, and the only thing that's kind of a pain in the butt with these tires, one, they're probably a bit cheap. This is not my wheel. So this is my Alex TD25 that I just laced, obviously. This is the first time I'm ever going to have Presta valves in here, so I do have the adapter in there, the little grommet, if you want to call it. So put this here. You will see I have this tire. This tire is a 700cc tire, and in case you didn't know, 700cc road tires should work on 29-inch mountain bike rims. Just finished mounting one side of the tire here, so the bead went around the other side. This, honestly, I just learned this as of recent. So if you get one side of the bead over, then you can throw the tube in, or you can just change the tube without having to dismount everything. If you've ever mounted tires before, tubeless, you'll find that sometimes they're a pain in the butt. These are not tubeless, these are tubed. But sometimes you have some tires that are a pain in the butt that don't want to mount all the way around evenly. Like these tires especially. These were a pain in the ass on this bike both times. You'll get like a little bit of deviation. And you will have a little bit of deviation because the tire's not going to be perfect. These Billy Bonkers tires were notorious for that. But if you ever mounted car tires, the same trick actually applies to tires and bikes. And that's what I'm going to show you real quick. Is if you get some soapy water, like dish soap and water, you can actually spray it inside of the channel. There's probably people that say not to do this, but this is what I'm going to do just so it mounts correctly. It, reduces friction so that you can mount a tire. And if you can just work it around, your life will be a hell of a lot easier when it comes time to popping it onto the bead correctly. This is a 700cc tire with 700cc tire with a 700cc tube. Just like a car tire, you will have to put more air in it, or just pull it to its limit. This is between 50 to 70, so I'm going to definitely bring it up to at least 50. I might put some more water on it, but I'm at 70 right now. It's not mounted correctly, I can already tell. This is what it's going to look like. So I have some giant PXCs. Two, I got them off of, I think, Facebook Marketplace for like $175. There's still bearings on giant hubs. Honestly, I don't know about Giant's reputation for self-branded stuff. I don't like my Altera stuff in my bike, really. Just a GT self-branded from what I can tell. But this has all black spokes, nipples, and it does have the washers for the nipples. I like the looks of them. This one will not. These ones are kind of a little rough around the edges. You can't tell because of the water on there. But honestly, I never thought I liked the chrome spokes or the stainless steel spokes. I always like the black on stuff because it, you know, makes the spokes sink. However, right now it kind of looks kind of good with this silver, like it would have come from the factory. I just thought you might want to see how crappy this wheel is that I'm starting this time. I just kind of drew it up with my my nipple driver, so it's not going to be very good. But want to see what it looks like? Woo! There's a nice jump to it too. Look at that. This is what I just did in about a minute. Super, super rough, I know. There's still a jump to it, but it is a little bit more straighter. Look how straight it is. Just don't pay attention to how much it bobs up and down. Okay, ready? Let's open it up just a little bit so it doesn't rub. Looks like my little problem with my spoke hole is going to continue to be a problem because relieving all the tension on that area, there's still a bend that goes inward towards the wheel. If I can find it real quick. This is it right here. If I bring it down to here, maybe it's not a good angle to see it, but you'll see it. There's a flat spot right there. And there's very, very, very little tension on there. I loosened all the tension so you could just literally wiggle the spoke, and it was not very content. So I think I'm done. It's definitely not perfect. It's honestly kind of a gross wheel, but it is what it is. So here it is. Open up the clamp a little bit. It's kind of like that hop to the wheel is still gonna be there. That rim is just bent right at the weld. So unfortunately, I can't do much about it, but it's definitely usable. I can deal with it. So here it is before all of its sexy goodness. Well, there it is. New tires, newly laced wheels, and it looks not very healthy, but I kind of like to just play around, so it's kind of cool. It's got the chrome spokes back on it now, so there's way more contrast. The black spokes with the black rim and the black nipples looks pretty good. I thought about changing these all over the black too, but you know, for another $50 in materials, maybe not. The rear caliper is dragging, so I will have to adjust that. So that's one thing that I've learned that maybe it could help you if you ever had the idea to have 300 sets of wheels. So when you want to do a wheel change, so you have to change your tires real quick, it's not as seamless as you'd think that it would be. It's not bad. It's just there are a few more steps that you might not have thought about. So one of the steps being you will have to reposition your calipers. I'm guessing it would be like that with V-mount brakes and stuff like that, cantilevers. I don't even care to find out with that because I don't care about those. I mean, I have some cantilevers in my Schwinn, but I don't have the intents of making a spare set for that thing at all. So whatever. There's a good chance that you'll have to adjust your derailleur because hubs are all different. Even if they are the correct spacing for what the frame is, there's still little differences between hub to hub to hub. So you do have to adjust that. With my distortion, you have the little, I have through axles, so the nut that through axle goes through, you get to actually clock so that the release ends up in the right place. But this one drags a little bit too. Not awful. I'll just leave that one for now. But yeah, it's kind of weird. Actually, it's very weird. Look at that spacing. So this is going to be
This is going to be my first ride on this bike with these tires and these wheels. Supposedly supposed to ping, but honestly, my wheels don't ping very much when I ride them for whatever reason. Maybe it's because they're too tight or something. I don't know. I haven't pulled out any spokes yet, and well, I haven't ridden this one yet, so we'll see. Honestly, it's not too shabby looking. I kind of like the chrome spokes back on here. I am blown away to say. Like, honestly, I did not think I ever would. So let's give her a go in a second. Move the camera. Ooh, I can barely see. Yeah, I can definitely hear a little bit more of some tinging, like really fine little ding ding. But not as crazy as led to believe it would be. But I think this is the most I've ever heard in a wheel. Probably not the best tire choice for today, but it doesn't seem like there's any ice out here. Seems pretty good. It's a little cold out today. It's a little bit frosty out, but I just say I'm pretty impressed with how it's turned out so far. Fortunately, I can't give it very much torque because my knees still hurt from the other day. It's getting better, but not there yet. But I think it looks pretty decent for what it's worth. I mean, obviously the bike's not really meant to have these tires on it. It's meant to have something, a little bit more girthier and grippier. But for just a road set, pretty good. And maybe I'll put those snow tires on here once I get them. But then by that time, it's probably not gonna be any more snow left. But whatever, we'll figure it out, right?